What if I told you that becoming wealthy might not make you happy at all? In this video, we'll uncover the surprising reasons why many rich people feel just as unfulfilled as those struggling to make ends meet. If you've ever wondered why money doesn't guarantee happiness, stick around, because you might be shocked to learn what truly keeps wealthy individuals from feeling rich. First, people in poverty may see wealth as the solution to all their problems. Constantly worrying about bills and making ends meet makes it easy to believe that having more money would bring happiness. When you imagine a life without financial stress, where you can buy anything and live comfortably, it seems like a dream come true. Society reinforces this belief by glamorizing wealth, linking it to success and happiness. But the reality is different. Money can help reduce stress, but it doesn't guarantee lasting happiness. Have you ever felt excited after buying something new, only for that excitement to fade quickly? That's due to something called the hedonic treadmill. It's like being on a treadmill. No matter how fast you run, you stay in the same place. The hedonic treadmill explains how our brains adapt to new levels of happiness, which means that the joy from new purchases or lifestyle changes doesn't last as long as we think. For wealthy people, this effect is even more noticeable. When someone first becomes rich, they might feel a rush of happiness and freedom. They may buy luxury cars, big houses, or go on lavish vacations, thinking these things will bring lasting happiness. And for a while they do. But after a short time, they get used to these things, and the excitement fades. What once felt special becomes normal. Imagine someone who just bought a beautiful mansion. At first, living there feels like a dream. But as time passes, the shiny countertops, the spacious rooms, and the excitement of it all wear off. Eventually, the mansion doesn't feel as special anymore, and they start looking for something else to bring them joy. Maybe a bigger house or another home in a different location. This constant search for the next thing to boost happiness is the hedonic treadmill in action. It doesn't stop with material things. This cycle can also happen with career achievements or social status. Once you get used to a high standard of living, what used to feel like a luxury becomes the new normal, and you start seeking the next level of success, thinking it will bring you happiness. But it doesn't. Wealthy people often find themselves in this position, constantly upgrading their lives, chasing more success, and believing that the next achievement will finally make them happy. The problem is, the hedonic treadmill makes them overlook the happiness they already have. This can leave them feeling unsatisfied, no matter how much money they accumulate. The science behind this is called hedonic adaptation. Studies show that humans have a baseline level of happiness that stays fairly consistent over time. After major life events, whether good or bad, our happiness levels tend to return to this baseline. This explains why even winning the lottery doesn't make people lastingly happy. Once the excitement wears off, people return to their usual level of happiness. In a well-known study, researchers found that lottery winners and paraplegics both return to their normal levels of happiness after the initial shock of their life-changing events. This may seem surprising, but it shows just how adaptable humans are. Unfortunately, this adaptability also means that we quickly get used to the pleasures that wealth can bring, making them less impactful over time. There's another factor at play too: relative deprivation. This means that people often measure their happiness by comparing themselves to others, not by their own circumstances. A wealthy person might feel content until they see someone with even more money or a more luxurious lifestyle. Suddenly, they feel deprived, even though they are wealthy by most standards. This leads them to seek more wealth, believing it will make them happy. But because they're always comparing themselves to others, they never feel like they have enough. Think about this. When your income grows, you often move to a new neighborhood with people who have similar incomes. You start comparing your lifestyle to theirs. Maybe they have nicer cars, bigger houses, or send their kids to private schools. Even though you've increased your wealth, it feels like you're in the same place because your surroundings have risen with you. That sense of financial growth and success fades as you adapt to your new environment. This comparison can create a mindset where no amount of wealth feels sufficient. For example, a millionaire might feel average when comparing themselves to a billionaire, whose lifestyle makes theirs look small. As a result, the millionaire no longer feels wealthy, even though they are far richer than the average person. This constant comparison leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction. The more wealth people accumulate, the more their standards of living increase, and what once felt luxurious becomes ordinary. New products, services, and experiences designed for the rich push them to maintain or exceed their current lifestyles. Even something as simple as buying a new car shows this. At first, an economical car might feel amazing, but soon you get used to it. To feel that same happiness again, you might buy a luxury car. But after a while, even the luxury car feels ordinary, and the cycle continues. Wealth comes with its own set of pressures too. Managing substantial assets, maintaining a certain lifestyle, and the fear of losing money can lead to increased stress and anxiety. The responsibility of wealth can overshadow its benefits, making rich people feel trapped by their financial situation. It's also worth noting that wealth can cause social isolation. Rich people may struggle to form genuine connections because they worry about others' motives or feel disconnected from those who don't share their financial status. This isolation can lead to loneliness, further diminishing the perceived benefits of wealth. You might know someone who doesn't have much money, but they live happily in a modest home and enjoy life. Meanwhile, a rich person with everything they could want might seem miserable and unfulfilled. These situations highlight how the hedonic treadmill and constant comparisons affect wealthy people's happiness. Understanding these psychological factors can help people escape the trap of never feeling wealthy enough and allow them to appreciate what they already have. And there you have it. If you liked this video, consider checking out our last video on Warren Buffett's best investing advice to help you build wealth in the long run.